Yes.
Live, maybe?
Are we going? Are we stopping?
We're live. We're
What's
We're
live on
good.
Twitch.
We're good.
Woohoo!
I totally didn't click on the wrong thingy.
Yay, we're live. Thanks so much for the tech goblin work. Um, hey, everybody, I'm Travis. Haven't been here in a while. Well, it's nice to be back. Welcome to the Roll for Seduction Twitch channel, where I have been blessed by the wonderful assembled here on this screen to once again adventure into the world of Odysseys and Overlords. It's been a little while since we've been there on this channel. Turns out life has been kind of busy, but we have an excellent excuse to come together and play a game because we have the Bizarre Kingdoms Kickstarter. It is the first major expansion for the Odysseys and Overlords setting. If you recall, last year we kickstarted the main book for Odysseys and Overlords successfully. Thank you to everybody who supported it. If you missed that, that's available as an add-on in the Bizarre Kingdoms Kickstarter as well. And because everybody is so awesome, it would seem that I believe Tessa already threw that link in the chat. Forgive me if I misattributed to who did that, but thank you for doing so. So yeah, head over there, check out, see what we've got cooking on the Kickstarter. You can get a copy of Bizarre Kingdoms for as little as, I think, $5 gets you the PDF. If you back, you can get access to previews, all sorts of fun stuff, lots of good times. So as I mentioned, we're going to be diving into an adventure in the world of Odysseys and Overlords beforehand. But before we do, I suppose, is there any announcement things that you need to do, Ailey, or that need to be done?
No. I mean, check out our link tree. It's got our links in it. Check us out on Twitter. Our Twitter handles are here-ish. And join us on Discord, where we have like a super awesome community and stuff.
No, let's start the first time this way.
Rock and roll. So yes, definitely follow everybody on their Twitters. Let's meet our cast real quick before we dive in. Actually, let's find out what.
Oh,
do we need to do it before or after we do our introduction of who we're playing? Right. So we're still in partial. We have a foot in the real world still. So I want to keep our foot in the real world.
okay.
And then I didn't forget how to start a game around here. Don't worry. Hasn't been that long. So yeah, let's meet the cast. So I guess let's kick things off. First off with Tessa, because I'm a fan of Clockwise. Please. Tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, and their pronouns.
I'm Tessa, pronouns she, her, and I am playing Lena, the hyena folk, also pronouns she, her.
Awesome.
Yeah, I am very excited to be playing this. I don't have a lot to say about it, but I am very excited.
That's quite all right. I appreciate you look stunning, and I appreciate your excitement. I will feed on it like a attention starved vampire. It was a terrible segue that'll lead into Ailey, who is not, in fact, an attention starved vampire. So please share your pertinent details with the folks at home. Ailey, if you could.
Oh, hi. My name is Ailey, and I am playing Lyra, the inquisitive jeweled beetle. I'm also likewise excited to be here.
I am extra excited to have you here, but you were saying what?
My pronouns are she, her, and so are Lyra's.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I've missed your face so much. You know that? We haven't seen each other in far too long. It is so good to see you. Speaking of
too long.
way too long. Speaking of faces, it's been way too long since I've seen Beth. Please, your details.
Hi, so I'm Beth. My pronouns are they, them, and I don't have any sick makeup on because how does one do this? But I'm playing Halizak, the Poison Tail. His pronouns are he, him, and I think he's pretty cool. Honestly, the whole new expansion of this thing is very cool, and I'm very hyped to be here.
I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Yes, we have uh, one of the things that we introduced in Bizarre Kingdoms. There's some new playable ancestries, all of which are being shown off, I think, on this stream. So, and that leads us to last but not least, the lovely and wonderful and amazing Riotous Femme. Your details, please.
Hi, my name is Rachel. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be playing Persiflage Pendulum today, who is a fleetfoot, so like a centaur, but instead of a horse lower bits, it's a gazelle, which is amazing and wonderful. Do you want like a description of what Persiflage looks like now, or do you want to do that when we jump into gameplay?
We'll do that when we jump into gameplay.
Okay,
just wanted to
fantastic.
make sure we have the very, very basics out there for the audience.
Yeah, my pronouns are she, her. Persiflage's pronouns are he, him.
Beautiful. And I guess that leaves me. I'm Travis, he, they. When I'm not running games, I'm writing them, like Bizarre Kingdoms for Odysseys and Overlords, which you should go back right now over on Kickstarter. And while you are running over to Kickstarter to back it, let's play some fucking Odysseys and Overlords.
Go.
I'm
Ooh, map.
wonderful. We have returned. So our adventurers have recently been gathered together in the nation of Quellen on the southern continent by one of the actuaries that works for the Census Bureau. The Census Bureau in Quellen is kind of part IRS, part census, part FBI. They are the investigative and law enforcement, I guess you could say, branch of the government. But they also handle things such as international intelligence gathering and what they politely refer to as archaeological expeditions. Others might view as them going and raiding other ruins for important documents. But the member of the Census Bureau who you met with indicated to you that there is a collection of books and historical documents on the northern continent of Pangaea, in a place long forgotten known as Sorrowvine Keep. The existence of these documents have made their way back to the government in Quellen, and due to the nature of the documents, the keep itself was once an outpost used by, the historians believe, was used by forces under the command of the goddess Prudence. So the Quellen government believes that the documents contained there might be very valuable, might be able to shed a light on some missing or overlooked history, to be certain, but also may include long lost magics, perhaps even instructions for making magical items that have not been seen since before the schism. So as a result, you have been asked to go and retrieve them. You were provided a passage on a boat with some privateers that were in the employ of the Quellen military, and they dropped you off sort of unceremoniously on the southern shores of the nation known as the Centaur Borderlands. You must make your way across the Centaur Borderlands, get into the Untamed Gauntlet, and make your way to the location of Sorrowvine Keep, which has been marked on what you're told is a relatively accurate map. Now, this is a continent that you likely have never been to. You've probably heard a bit about. You have been informed that the centaurs normally levy attacks on adventurers who pass through their lands. It is up to you whether or not you want to obey that particular ruling or how you wish to deal with that if faced with it. And you're basically left on your own, set free on the coastline.
So we may know a little bit about this continent. Does it have a reputation of any kind, or is this a pretty unknown waters kind of deal?
So according to the people of Quellen, Pangea is a sort of barbaric profiteering land. Most of the citizenry of Quellen don't have much patience for divinity, and the greatest power on the eastern half of the continent is a theocracy called Chandra's Haven. It is dangerous. The people there valued coin more than people. And it is home to, however, the greatest swath of unclaimed treasure on the planet, as far as anyone knows, which is the Untamed Gauntlet. It's a region that was where most of the fighting of the schism took place when the gods got into it about 1,000 years ago, and it still hasn't healed or recovered from it. There are still ruins that no one has set foot in since the schism. Now, having said that, if any of you would like to make a common knowledge roll to see if there's anything additional that you know, you may do so.
Yeah, I'd like to see. Do I have that?
You should. Just about everybody does.
Excellent. Common knowledge.
Holy
Under
shit.
skill?
Yep,
Wow.
it is under skills.
Oh, I see it. Yes.
Ailey here with a 23. How many dice?
I know
Whoa.
everything about everything.
Whoa.
All right. So for most of you, we have 3 critical failures in the group, which I think is hilarious. Do any of you want to spend a Benny
No.
on this common knowledge roll? Excellent.
Nah,
So,
I'll be dumb.
So here are the things that that you sort of come up with one by one. Persiflage, you are under the impression that this continent has been overrun by blood drinking undead. Anyone you run into at night might be a vampire. And for all you know, maybe they have some weird vampires up here that can walk around during the day.
It seems very likely.
You just remember a lot of horror stories that you've heard about vampires up this way. As far as Halizak is concerned, you are certain that the wild folk in all their variations are hunted here. Their skins kept as trophies, their heads frequently mounted on the walls of the hunters who seek them out. You can only assume that extends to insect folk as well.
Oh, great.
As for, is it Lena or Lena?
Lena.
Lena. Okay, thank you. I will do my best to remember that, but I always get those cross wires in my brain.
No worries.
So Lena remembers a story not too long ago about the giants. There are giants who inhabit the southern mountain range who hunt down what they refer to as the small folk and eat them, stomp them to death and grind their bones to make their bread. The giants here are cannibals. It's very, very dangerous. Not a fun place to be. And you can see mountains from where you landed. Now, as for Lyra with the, let's see, that's a 23. I brought up
Insane.
a calendar because I'm terrible at math. So we got 4 raises on that. So you're aware that everything I just said is absolutely not true. You are aware of the national borders. You know that if you know that the Centaur taxation is part of their relationship with Chandra's Haven. If you were to pay a Centaur, you want to get paperwork that says that you did so, so that they don't try to scam you out of doing it multiple times. You're fairly certain you know a route where you can avoid most of the Centaur patrols, and you will have a I will allow your knowledge to grant the group a +2 bonus when trying to actually navigate in any areas where you might get lost. Sound fair?
Yes. The people that hired us,
Yes.
they tend to like raid historical sites. Like someone in chat brought up England. How much do I believe they will protect these things versus destroying them?
Oh, the things that they take. Like, first of all, the interest is vastly greater in the written word than it is in trinkets, baubles, or treasures.
Noted.
They don't care about coin unless it's historically significant. They don't particularly care for art unless it's a historically significant piece of art. But any books, scrolls, anything with the written word that they are able to, or even like tapestries that display a historical event, those things they do their best to restore and preserve. That's the entire culture is built around the amassing and preservation of knowledge. Any other questions before we venture forth?
I think I'm good. I think both I and Persiflage are good.
Excellent.
Oh, what time of day is it?
When you land,
Yeah.
we'll say it's probably around dawn.
Okay.
So, you will need to navigate. You will need to read the map. Does anyone want to take point on that?
Oh, maps are in character or out of character?
In character, absolutely in character. Yeah, you don't need to navigate.
I could do a survival. Wait, is that survival?
Survival would be great for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Then,
wait, I have a thing.
Yes, you have the woodsman edge,
Woodsman.
I believe. Right. And that should be already calculated in. If you look at your sheet, is there a +2 next to your survival trait?
There is not.
Okay, in that case, add a +2 next to your survival trait.
Okay. And
then you also get the floating +2 from the knowledge that Lyra can share with you.
Wonderful.
So your wild die actually came up a little better. So that's a 7, and then the additional +2, so that's a 9. That is sufficient to get a raise. So you're able to effectively choose for the first 5 days of your journey whether you wish to avoid Centaur patrols or not. You can find routes where they're not going to cross paths. You can stick to terrain that you know would be a little bit more difficult for them to maneuver, though that might get on Persiflage's nerves a little bit. But other than that, or you can also decide to just catch up with a group of them, pay them the tax, and get your paperwork so that you don't have a hassle in the future.
In fact, before we get going, Persiflage has the honorable, what's it called?
Code of honor.
Yeah, code of honor hindrance. So he keeps his word. He's very honorable. So before we set out, Persiflage puts out a hand and says, "Now we must make it our first port of call to find one of these Centaur patrols, so that we may pay our dues before continuing in the land. We are all agreed?"
Oh, Yeah, they're this way. And I'm definitely going to tell him the ways that avoids all of the centaurs.
I am 100% aware that this is happening, and I say nothing.
And Persiflage nods solemnly. Good.
Yeah, I know the way.
Perfection. You travel for several days and see no signs of any centaur. In fact, it's not until shortly after sunset of the sixth day of travel. According to your map, you're almost at the edge of the borderlands, about to enter into the Untamed Gauntlet. When you see your first humanoid, in fact, you see a human kind of out in the middle of the road as you are approaching. And if we could, I would like all of you to go ahead and just give me a notice check as you're making your way up toward this human.
Real quick, how much does the centaur tax cost?
If you are on your way through and you're not carrying rid of salvage and you're not carrying any treasure that they can like calculate, it's just a 50 gold
Okay.
tax.
I'm rolling very well.
You're rolling very well.
I'm very jealous.
And by very well, I mean the other thing.
Well, somebody rolled very well. Oh, Lena rolled very well this time.
I rolled. I'm not failed again. Fine. Oh yeah.
Just Halisek is just being suspicious of every little thing, every little movement. He's just like the eyes.
Halizak is so hyper vigilant at this point that like tracking a specific he's just losing the plot.
Yeah, he lost the forest for the trees, does not notice the humanoid right in front of them.
All
the side bushes are controlled.
Persiflage did succeed thanks to the
wild die,
but it was not enough to match the raises that were attained by the thing you were looking for. So you kind of just notice, it's a relatively cool night. Air is fairly still. You can smell a nearby campfire, but that's about it. Same for Lyra, but Lena?
Lena. Like Lena the hyena.
Lena. Yep. I'm gonna see, there you go. It's alliterative and everything. So Lena, you can smell the sweat of like 3 other people. If you can see where I'm pinging in these areas, you might need to zoom out perhaps. I'm not sure. Okay. Did my ping show up okay?
I did not see it. Oh yes, I can see the ping now. Yep.
That's because I was on the wrong layer, because roll 20 is so easy to operate. But yeah, you can smell that there are people in those positions.
Okay, her nose flares and she gets a little tense, but is trying not to let on too hard that she notices them, and is just kind of going to fall back in step next to, wait, who's this character?
That's me.
Okay, great. I stand next to Lyra and or is it Lyra or Lyra?
Lyra.
Okay, Lyra. And I'm gonna be like, there's some people hidden in the trees and bushes. Don't act alarmed. Be casual, be cool.
Oh, okay.
But as soon as we get near them, we should attack them.
What if they're friendly?
They wouldn't be hiding.
Well, sometimes I hide, and I think I'm fairly friendly.
You might get yourself murdered.
Oh. Okay.
Trust me. I can smell that they want something.
Oh,
So we're going to get them first.
okay. Understood.
And then I'm
I
just
love
going to kind of go forward and whisper to Persiflage, don't react, but there are people nearby. And I'm going to go basically to all three and be like, don't react, but there's stuff.
Sure.
And maybe I'll even like pull out my water canteen and like offer it to Persiflage so that it like looks like I'm just having casual walking conversation.
Okay. That works. And as you round that large tree, you do see one person kind of sitting by the side of the road. They're wearing what looks like a very heavily torn up poncho. Looks like it's seen better days. The rest of their clothes are in tatters, and they've got like a tin cup basically, and they're kind of sitting there and holding the cup out. And they kind of look down toward where you're at, and you're not quite close enough for conversational range yet. So, but they're extending their cup, like they're going to perhaps beg for some change as you go by.
This is a ploy to distract us.
I'm like already going through my bag, digging out gold when Lena says that, and then I pause, I look at her, and I slowly close my pouch back.
She just kind of like gives a half smile that is way more disconcerting than she means it to be. She wants it to be like a good job kind of smile, but it comes out more of a good job or I would have gotten you kind of smile.
Excellent.
What time of day is it?
This is shortly after dusk.
Okay. Oh,
I feel like
they could be vampires, you know. Do be careful.
Right. You say that, and Halizak is just so Halizak has like two pincers, two claws, and then two arms. So it's just and then a giant poison tail. He's gonna start like grabbing the several sharp things that he's got strapped on his body. This man does not wear clothes. He's just got an exoskeleton.
He just wears knives.
He wears knives. Yes. He wears knives.
Continuing a proud tradition of Beth's character.
Great way to accessorize.
Dress only in knives.
You let me play what I like. What can you say about this? This one has more knives and also chakrams. So this slight deviation. You see that he's like kind of playfully twirling them around in his hands, and then maybe has a chakram on the claw and stuff, and just like ready to pounce. The big boy is alert.
Now, I've got one of my hindrances is delusional. And Percy's specific delusion is that when he talks to himself, he's convinced that nobody can hear him.
Correct.
So he says out loud to himself, well, it would be very dishonorable for these rapscallions to accost us, but then would a vampire have any honor at all? And he continues to chat to himself somewhat loudly as we approach.
Excellent.
Excuse me,
Uh,
sir.
yes?
There's a flesh.
Oh, yes. Lyra.
Why do you think they're vampires?
Are you psychic?
Not that I know of.
Oh. Fascinating. What a fascinating young lady you are. Oh, what interesting people I have with me. I wonder if any more of them are psychic. It continues just burbling to himself.
About that time, you do hear the first alms for the poor.
I
Scowl.
glance back over at Lena and my hand just like hovering over my coin pouch.
She's gonna like pull her sword partially out.
Okay. Go ahead and
Not all the way out, just enough to be like, you're bringing out food, I'm bringing out a weapon kind of
for
vibe.
sure.
But not so much that they feel threatened.
Feel free to place your tokens on the map as to how close you're getting to this fellow.
I feel like we're probably like here. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
also, I am traveling. I have a hawk and a horse with
You're
me
You're a centaur that has a horse.
that has a horse. Yes, I am.
That's where all your
Yeah.
bags are, I imagine.
Yes.
Exactly what is happening. The horse is carrying all my bags. So yeah.
Good.
Can I? Can I send my? Do I have control over these creatures? Can I send the hawk out?
Control specifically, right now they're considered friendly to you.
Yeah.
If you want to issue, because you don't have any like power to control them, if you want to issue any command, you're going to need to make a riding check probably.
Riding check.
And if you don't have riding, then it would default to an unskilled use check.
Okay.
Unless you use your power, because I know you have the charm power, so you
Yeah,
can
I do
charm
have charm
them.
power, and I also have Did I? No, I didn't end up taking beast friends. Yeah, I could use charm. Not worth it in this instance though.
Okay.
Persiflage brings the hawk close to his chest and strokes its feathers and says, "I really don't know if they're vampires. Perhaps we should send the pointier one out first."
Right, yeah, go ahead and give me that riding and or unskilled use check.
Let's try an unskilled. Let's try.
Excellent. The hawk gets very excited, seems very interested in doing what you want. And as soon as you let go, flies the other way.
Well, shit. Maybe if I pretend that was what I wanted to happen, they'll believe me, Persiflage says out loud.
We will.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Alizek doesn't say anything. He just looks at you like.
The man now standing in the middle of the road says, "Please, can you help me? I need money for food."
Oh, well, it would be dishonorable to ignore him, even if he might be a vampire. Persiflage is gonna saunter up and give him some gold.
All right, as you pull out, how much gold are you pulling out, and where are you pulling it out of?
He reaches over to Schnookums, his horse, his war horse, and takes out what's the equivalent of like $5? Is that like 1 gold, 2
like
gold?
1 gold, yeah.
Yeah, pulls out a gold from a purse on Schnookums, and then with just a single gold piece, walks over.
Wonderful. As soon as you step over in that direction, the gentleman that you're interacting with doesn't seem to like. He just holds the coin out, or the cup out, like he's excited that you're bringing some money his way. Unfortunately,
Here you are, good fellow.
this is a cue for his buddies, who are going to now make their presence known as they leap forward from the trees.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just want to make sure I've got everybody together. We're going to add turns for all of you, and I'm going to ask you to make sure that you've got your character's token selected.
Yes.
Everybody good to go? All right.
Yes.
I'm going to deal. All right.
Cool.
We're going to sort this. Oops. By card.
It's cool that it uses a deck of cards. It's neat. I like that.
Yeah. So the first action is going to go to one of these bandits. Now, they do not have the drop on you because you saw them coming. You know what's up. But they are pretty quick on the uptake. Now, if any of you would like to spend a Benny to draw a different action card, you may do so anytime during the initiative. Does anybody want to spend a Benny yet at this point?
We're
do?
so
I
early.
would.
All right.
Yeah, stabby. Go stab.
All right. Go ahead and
So do that, I guess. 2 bennies now. I don't.
Yep.
Do you re-roll my initiative?
I redeal you a card. Did you get a new card?
I think so. I don't know what that means.
Did it
If you look in
change?
the yeah,
did
if
it
you look in the
change your
turn order,
initiative?
you can see which card you've got.
It gave me an ace. I had something else before.
Yeah, give you the ace of spades. Yeah. So now I believe that makes you go first.
Ha!
Yep, sure does.
Nice.
Fantastic.
So you can hear the rustling foliage of these various folks kind of dropping out of the trees and whatnot, getting ready to attack. What would you like to do? You have the initiative.
Okay. So I'm like trying to hide a little bit on under this tree right here that we're just kind of like passing by, and I hear a guy on the other side of the tree.
Yes.
It's combat. This is tradition. We need to turn our lights off.
Oh yeah.
I have so much stubby power. Let's put it to good use. I am going to ask you, Travis, a couple of questions. So remember my equipment? Remember that man catcher that I have kind of hanging there, like it's a very awkward mage staff.
Yes.
The reach of that, like I have to get closer to this guy before using that, right?
Yes, but you can move your pace in squares without it being an issue.
Yes, but I don't know how close or how far I can be. Or if I can just.
What do you mean?
I want to yoink him.
Yeah, you can move your pace in squares, and the reach on that man catcher, I believe, is 2.
So if I go like right against the tree trunk, I can yoink him to me because he's 2 squares from me.
Yeah, though you'd need to go like down around the tree a little bit, but yeah. Then you can attack him with the man catcher.
Okay, so I have moved. I am going to attack him with my man catcher. If I figure out where it is. I have forgotten how to do combat in this.
That's fine. You'll use your fighting.
I use my fighting. So I roll fighting or I use my man catcher?
You roll. Yep, you roll the fighting. Do you have? All right. So that was a failed attempt. You reach out with the man catcher and try to grab. You may spend another Benny if you'd like.
Remind me how the actions for combat work again.
You do just get the one action per turn in this
Oh.
system. So we had the different actions when we were doing the OSR stuff, but now it's just one action.
Oh,
You get your action, you get your movement. You can use a multi-attack, but generally you'll take a multi-attack penalty. Check your.
But I have the multi-attack thing.
Yeah, check your.
My what?
Check your abilities, your special abilities, and see what it says about multi-attacks. Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Somebody redeemed a cast darkness. So what does that normally do on the channel?
This.
Turn off your light.
Oh, I can
We
do
fight
that.
in darkness.
As is tradition.
Yes.
Nice.
Where did especially because did I not put the multi-attack thing? Didn't the Poison Tails just have a multi-attack? Because you have claws and hands.
Not necessarily, no. There's some various different things that the insectoids do. I will look up Poison Tails real quick. because I know one of you basically does not get multi-attack penalties, and the other one does.
That's me. I have so many arms.
We both have
Arms for days.
You do have so many arms. Maybe I read it wrong.
So your extra limbs don't grant you an additional action, but you get an additional attack with no penalties. So literally the only thing you can do is make an extra attack with your claws.
Right.
That's
That's what I meant. That's what I want to do. Like I try to
Right,
yoink
that you
him.
would-
He's on the other side of the tree. My
Yeah,
man
you
catcher
basically
bonks.
Go wide. Yeah. So you'll have to step in on him to do so
Yeah.
because you're not, but that's fine.
Then I'll put the man catcher in my back and just go with one of my claws and try to. Because I'm taller
Alright.
than this guy. These bugs are
Yes.
big. So
Yeah, you're like
just kinda
7 foot tall.
punching him in the face with my crabby claws.
Yes, you are a chunky boy.
Yes.
Take a swipe with your claws. You can use the claw should have
Its
the
own
attack
thing.
plus damage. So you can click on that and it should just roll it for you.
That thing.
Yep. That absolutely hits, and that hits with two. No, hits with one raise. So go ahead and roll your damage. Great. Your base damage was 6. Bonus damage from the raise, you got 2. So that's 8. That is beyond his toughness. He is an extra. He is taken out.
He got bonked on the head so hard.
Yeah. Are you knocking him unconscious, or are you dealing a lethal blow to this would-be bandit?
I'm killing this idiot.
Excellent. You reach out with the man catcher to no avail. You step forward, lunging forth with your claw, and before you even close the claw completely, like his head comes away from his neck. Blood sort of pulses out as his body falls over.
Sick.
This is probably the first words or noises you've heard come out of Halizak, and it's just like a weirdly manic laughter given
Right
the
on.
situation. Like it's kind of like a bug as well, like kind of clicky, like.
Nice.
Amazing.
Next.
This one of the bandits runs out from the tree and basically throws a knife at, I guess he's probably going to target persiflage, just because you're the closest and easiest to spot.
I'm forward and I got a big ass.
Both of those things are accurate. So it is a disastrous miss. He actually throws the knife. It hits his buddy in the ass. Does not do any damage, but definitely distracts him. It will reduce his friend's attack by 2 in this turn.
Most unsporting.
Quite. Now it is Lyra's turn. Lyra?
Oh dear. Oh dear. I want to cast Sanctuary, assuming I'm understanding this correctly.
Sure. Yeah, you pull out your holy symbol.
And I'm going to give it an area effect,
Sure.
which I think will hit all of my allies.
Yes. Now, one thing to be aware of before you cast this is that Sanctuary does only work on supernaturally evil creatures.
Oh, okay.
So it
And
does
then
not work
Arcane
on,
Protection only works on magic?
only works on magic. Yes.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I am doing neither of those things.
I mean,
I will
unless you
cast-
believe that they're vampires, as you've been told.
No, I do not believe that. I will cast a stun spell instead.
All right. You reach out with your belief. Who are you targeting with that stun?
The one that threw the knife.
All right, excellent. As you reach out,
Actually,
go ahead.
I can do an area effect with this too. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, if you want to spend 2 points, it's everyone in the medium blast template, which would be the 3 you'd be able to reach.
Yes, I would also like to spend a Benny and re-roll that casting.
You may do so. Much
That's
better.
much better.
Yes, much better. So now they need to make a vigor roll at -2 or be stunned. I bet that's not going to go great for them. Because you got a raise on your casting. So our first one absolutely fails and is stunned. Our second one critically fails, falls to his knees and is shaking while stunned. And our last would-be bandit actually manages to avoid being stunned.
So I just kind of slam my staff into the floor and go, "Oh, please stop."
Oh no, I lied. Actually, the third one is totally stunned too. So you slam your staff and go, "Please stop!" And they all like drop, and the one is like physically shaking. That brings us around to Persiflage. What would you like to do?
Persiflage, examining Halazak, says, "Well, the pointy one gives me some concerns, but here we are. And I'm gonna this one right next to me. Can I kick that one with my gloves?"
You absolutely can. Now, I would point out that he is effectively defenseless at this point.
Oh, I don't think Persiflage would do that. Are they all effectively defenseless at this point because they're stunned?
Yes, the ones that are up. The one that, well, I guess defenseless might be a strong term. Let's see. When you're stunned,
Because yeah, I don't think Persiflage would.
yeah, they're distracted. They have fallen prone. They cannot move or take actions, and they are subject to the drop. So, like, yeah, they're basically defenseless at this point.
Okay. Persiflage, I think Persiflage is going to back up a little bit. And call his warhorse to stand in front of him if he can do so and say, "Now, are you all going to behave?"
Go ahead and make that unskilled riding check, unless you'd like to cast the charm on your horse.
The horse will listen this time, I can tell.
Well, it wasn't as bad as last time. You say, "Come here," and the horse rears up and like steps on the one dude's legs, like the dude that's fallen down in front of you.
They will definitely think I did that on purpose. That one's not so bad. Persiflage says out loud to himself.
Excellent.
That's it. That's me.
That brings us to the townsfolk. He may attempt to try to become unshaken. Let's see if that works out for him. Or unstunned, I should say. It does not. He is still stunned. The warhorse has stomped on someone already.
Yeah.
The last, or I should say, the next of the would-be raiders botches horribly. He's the one that that the horse stepped on his legs. Starts like flailing around like he's in horrendous agony from the broken legs, and just not doing great. And then that brings us around. Let's see. Yep, that brings us to Lena. What would you like to do?
Excellent. I'm gonna kill someone.
Nice, good.
It shouldn't be too hard. They're all prone and you have the drop on them. So
Okay, I do have a question.
yeah.
Is there any kind of penalty for using to shoot someone who's prone?
Yes. So
Okay. Then I'm gonna run up and stab one of them.
all right. You
I'm
can
gonna take a step forward and stab this one.
you get +4 to your attack and damage rolls against the target while you have the drop.
Oh, I love this. Okay. So then I just do a fighting roll and then we just add it in.
Yeah, which attack were you making?
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna stab him with a sword.
And you have the sword on your sheet, correct?
In my weapons, it says short sword.
Is there a little button that says attack plus damage next to it?
Yes.
There you go. I don't know why it had you down at, oh, I guess because you're encumbered. But you still get +4 to that, so that actually turns that 3 into a 7. So you did hit, and yeah, he has no defense. He is very dead. What were you cutting, and how badly were you cutting it?
Okay, so I run up and I take my short sword and I stab him like between the ribs into his heart.
Okay.
And cackle maniacally.
Excellent. Roll damage on the off chance that you get less than like a 2. Nope. Yeah. Straight through the heart. In fact, you sever the spine and are actually put your blade into the ground a little bit.
Oh, that's not good for my blade.
They're very squishy.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that oiled.
All right, so they are dead, and that brings us back around to Halizak. What would you like to do?
So I killed someone and I cackled, and you killed someone and you laughed. Let's kill someone else then.
This is the dream team.
Very
There's two very different energies happening here.
Like, so well, I forget what my movement is. Hold on, where is that on my character sheet? Hell,
It's your pace.
my pace is 6. Okay, one.
Yep.
Can I go through my allies?
Yeah, you can move through space to your allies.
And in diagonal as well?
Yep.
2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'm gonna move towards this other one. Seems to be the closest one. And I shoot Lena at like a very sharp toothy green with like the mandibles going, and I stab this guy with one of my daggers. And I will also use my multi-attack just to prove a point. I want to kill him dead. I know he's paralyzed or stunned or something, but like...
Right, so you have the drop, so it's at +4. So go ahead and make your attack roll. The dagger should have attack plus damage, so should your claw attack. So go ahead and roll them both.
I also have this thing. I'm also an assassin.
Oh, excellent. So you add another +2 to damage rolls.
Ignore those. Yes, I did not mean to cast bite. I'm trying to find my dagger. That one.
All right.
So
with your
like
+4. Well, your +4 to hit. That still does hit.
Okay.
And then
I do have
a claw attack as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This guy is so dead.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll that damage too. Yeah, so
there's a 20 in there.
So like you're cackling,
not rolling d20s.
and Lena's cackling, and the Lyra and Persiflage, you just kind of look over, and it almost looks like the Swedish chef just going off. Like you just see like the flicker of blades and claws and blood like spraying up from the ground. You don't actually see the person that's being attacked.
There's no longer a person. It's just a battle of entrails and blood. At this point, they exploded.
Yes. So they are in fact quite dead. They have now joined the choir invisible.
Nice.
So there's one survivor who is still stunned. I will see if they're able to get themselves out of being stunned. Does not look great for them. Nope, because they have the -2. So they remain stunned. That brings us to Lyra. What would you like to do?
I'm good, I think. I did my part.
Very clearly.
None of my allies are injured. The enemies are either dead or unable to move. I'm gonna let my friends do their thing, I guess.
Persiflage, is there any action that you would like to take in the face
I'm
of this?
concerned about the pointy ones. I will take no further actions.
Very good. At the end of your turn, your hawk, is it?
Yes.
Flies back and drops a fish at your feet.
Oh, well, that was very polite of you. What did I name my hawk? Pickles? I named the hawk Pickles.
Yes, Pickles drops you a fish. Apparently,
Oh,
Pickles thought that's what you wanted.
very kind of you, Pickles. Very good.
Are you going to attempt to give either of the animals a command?
He tries to call his horse back again. He doesn't like that his horse is stepping on, like, he's gonna try that again.
That's fair. Go ahead and hey, there you go.
Hey.
The horse walks over and starts nuzzling you and is very just fine with what's going on. Just fine. Did I mark
cool.
you with an X by accident? Where did Persiflage land?
Oh, I'm back here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the horse comes over and nuzzles you.
Oh, good boy. Good schnookums.
That brings us to Lena. Lena, you look up and you do see there is one still breathing.
Oh, good. I am going to basically pounce on him and try to bite his jugular out.
Nice.
Because I am feeling like empowered and like I really feel like Halizak and I are really vibing on this murder thing.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your damage.
We keep grading. Marker everybody.
Yeah, so you rip the last remaining bandit, basically tear their throat out, kind of like pull it up, so that we got a good exposed view of the bottom of your chin as blood runs down it and out of both sides, as the esophagus is kind of stubborn and doesn't want to give right away. It takes a little bit of that to get it to go.
It's okay. I've got a chew drive.
But eventually it drops, and that brings an end to our combat.
Nice.
I am watching Lena and Halizak with rapt fascination.
We're covered in blood, I assume.
Yeah, it's pretty bloody.
I wanna go to
They look
Lena
beautiful.
and just like with a creepy bug smile, just go like one hand and one claw, like, hey, like high five.
I'm gonna take my two hands.
He gives you like,
and actually, I'm gonna give you a little bit of esophagus.
Aww.
This is for you.
Oh. Gummy.
My new friends are very concerning. I should
I
make sure not to show weakness.
I slowly reach into another pouch and bring out a notebook and a pen and start taking notes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Is there
Yeah, we turn our lights back on. Fine.
is there anything else that you would like to do while you're in this area? You can clearly smell the fire from their camp. They all clearly at least have daggers on them. What would you like to do?
Okay.
I would love to loot the bodies.
Okay. Go ahead and give me just a notice check. All right. You find that they have between them about 75 gold in various coins and gems. You gather 4 daggers. They each only had 1 dagger. At their camp, there were 2 tents, some cooking utensils, and probably like 3 days worth of supplies. You also find, okay.
Yeah, what else?
You also find a journal as you're looking through the camp. It's written in sort of broken M script, like you can read it, but it's written by somebody who wasn't trained very well how to write. And it details how this was a band of adventurers that basically got mugged by renegade centaurs on their way to the Untamed Gauntlet. All their stuff got taken, so they have, decided to try to eke out a living as highwaymen until they have enough supplies to make the trek back to Chandra's Haven.
I am going to rip out a single page from that journal, whichever page seems the most interesting, like the most action packed.
Okay.
I fold it up and stick it in another one of my pouches. And then I close the journal back. I keep the journal though. It just separate.
Sure.
Are any of the gems interesting, or are they just like, this is wealth that we're carrying?
That's wealth that you're carrying. Nothing strikes you as being particularly high value. There's probably a couple of rubies, which are really common in Quellen. There's probably enough gems that, like, if by eyeballing it, you're like, oh, I could get a decent meal. With this, there's nothing special about it.
Persiflage wants to check them for fangs.
They do not have any fangs. At least the ones that have heads still.
Yeah. I do not believe these ones were vampires, but you never know.
We can check to see if the next one we kill are.
Where you're from.
Oh, no, not really. But this place is teeming with the undead, you know.
What makes you say that?
Oh, once you get to my age, you will learn more things. Everybody knows that this place is teeming with the undead.
And giants.
Giants?
Oh, yes. Big, big giants that would just gobble you up.
Now, given your roll result, you know that both of those things are true from a certain point of view, as Obi-Wan Kenobi might say. Thank you for the hydrate. Appreciate it.
Hydrate.
Sorry, chat. You see it
But,
backwards.
You're aware that Giant Home is pretty much where the giants stay, and you're aware of the existence of the shard, and that you are on the other side of the continent from it.
Oh, well, lucky for us, we're not really in vampire territory. It's that way. And the giants are that way.
Oh,
But
she
they're
is so
mountains.
trusting. I must make sure she gets out of here alive.
The that way that she points to for the giants is absolutely the mountain range that you kind of see. But and the that way that she points to for vampires is technically the direction you're walking in.
I see. The vampires are later in our journey. I am glad you know of these things. Perhaps together we shall find the vampires. And
I don't
then
think
perhaps the pokey ones can deal with them.
I don't think we'll go that far.
Persiflage just looks at you and puts his hand over his heart and says, "Oh, bless her little heart. I wonder if she knows."
I don't know.
Do-
Well, I make a pile of all of the things that I found and then leave it there for anybody to take.
okay. Does anyone particular want to lay claim to those, or do you want to just take note of it and then divvy them up later?
I will take the daggers and not say a freaking word. Just like
Excellent.
walk up,
So
stash.
Is
just
it ungentlemanly to loot the dead? What's the morality in this world on looting the dead?
I mean, if nothing else, because you're a native of Quellen, you just might be less interested in the gold in general. Like
Yeah.
the pursuit of wealth commonly in Quellen is like a tertiary concern behind pursuing like knowledge and I mean, like people try to amass enough income to like meet their basic needs and shit, but
Yeah.
the common morality in Quellen is that information is way more valuable than gold.
Yeah.
So I mean, you might take it even just as a curiosity, like, oh, these are coins from this land, but not like from a like I'm looting the bodies standpoint, so much as
Yeah.
like this is a interesting piece of anthropology that we have come across.
Yeah. What an interesting trinket. I might learn something from it.
Right.
He takes a handful of the coins and looks at them interestedly before putting them in one of the pouches on Schnookums.
Excellent. Did
I
you
was
have a
wondering, can I not be encumbered? Like, can I realize that I was not doing as well as I should be at murdering, even though I murdered successfully and just like.
Yeah, you realize that like all the shit you're carrying is kind of heavy. You do have a warhorse with you that's got saddlebags that can carry stuff. So,
Ooh, can I toss my bedroll
yeah,
and like rations onto your horse?
Totally. Persiflage nods his head genteelly. Schnookums is very strong.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So basically, just you can take the weight of the various gear down to 0, so that way you have the encumbrance is gone, but you know that you still have it on the horse.
Okay.
Make sense?
Wonderful. Yeah.
Did you all wish to camp there for the night or move along, continue your journey?
It is
leaving-
nighttime. There are vampires. We should hole up.
How many daggers were there? Just one?
4.
4. Nice.
All right. You managed to rest. You may regain any of your spell points that you had, or power points, I should say, that you had lost. You cook yourselves a hearty breakfast and are able to take off the next morning. Are you going to take their tents? Because that would be kind of funny.
No, that is an interesting thing.
A tent? A tent might be nice.
I don't hate the idea of shelter if the horse can carry it.
Oh, yes, indeed. I am very happy. Please, my Schnookums is your Schnookums.
Excellent. You carry the tents and head out back onto the road. Your next 2 days of travel are relatively uneventful. You are able to make your way throughout the remainder of the gauntlet based on the success of your previous navigation rolls, still avoiding any entanglements with the centaurs.
Throughout this, Persiflage does every once in a while say, "Do you think we'll run into a centaur patrol soon? It is beginning to worry me. They will think that we've been trying to avoid them, I fear."
Oh, no, we've been looking for them quite diligently.
Oh, well, I'm sure they will understand.
Have you been avoiding them?
Oh, goodness, no. I would never do such a thing.
They won't think that. You're fine.
This pokey one is very pokey. I will not challenge her.
I
He's not
continue to watch this and know what Lena is doing, and I continue to say nothing.
Excellent.
Yeah. I think at this point we're kind of just like eye on the prize, wanting to avoid people and get to where we're going as quickly as possible.
We are goal oriented. Most three of us are goal oriented.
Totally fair. As you continue along, when you coming up on the second day after the big brawl, you're near the edge, according to the map, of the Untamed Gauntlet itself, where the Centaur Borderlands and the Untamed Gauntlet sort of meet. You come across a river. It doesn't look like there's any like obvious crossing that you can see. There's no bridge. Looking either way, you don't see any like downed trees or anything like that look like they would make for an easy crossing. How would you like to address that?
How good am I at swimming?
That would generally be an athletics roll.
Okay.
If you
Not
want,
great.
if you want, you can try that. If anyone has any sort of
Gain protection.
like survival skill that they would like to apply, they could do that. If you have any sort
survival.
of elemental protection that would keep you from drowning, you could use that.
I will do survival.
Okay. And you're still getting the +2 due to the knowledge shot you got from
Wonderful.
earlier.
How
So
have past adventurers crossed this river?
oftentimes that adventurers will coming this way, particularly if they're coming from Chandra's Haven, will usually have like a cart or a wagon or something along those lines with it, and they will caulk it and then ford it across. But you see Lena, I apologize, sort of start looking around and figuring out kind of the narrowest spot and grabbing a few stones and like tossing them in so there are places for people to step, and just generally getting you like set up. It takes 20 minutes or so, but you're able to put together a navigable crossing, probably with the help of your friends. Probably requires you like cutting down a tree, maybe to help make at least a partial bridge. But you're working together, you are able to get across, since you lack a wagon to push it through. You have to rely on your ingenuity. Is there anything in particular that you would or would not want to use out of the area to build that? Is there anything you'd like to
Camouflage
avoid?
would definitely be in favor of cutting down a tree or something. Yeah.
Any objections to that?
No.
All right. Working together, you're able to fell a tree. You have enough sharp things on you, it's not a problem. And you move along, technically at this point, into the Untamed Gauntlet. Drawing closer to your intended destination, you come along a path, and it very obviously, as you're moving along, you spot a suit of what looks like studded leather armor.
Just like on the ground?
In fact, it's set up on like a stand next to a tree.
Well, that is curious.
I approach it without hesitation.
Excellent. You walk right over to it. Go ahead and give me a notice check, please.
Great. Five.
All right. One second. So as you're looking at it, it occurs to you that this suit of armor seems to be rigged with like there's like a wire attached to it, like a little thin piece of rope attached to it that looks like it would pull taut if you take the armor off of the stand.
I do believe I have found a trap.
Oh. Oh. Most disconcerting. It's not a very interesting thing to leave trapped now, is it? Just a bit of old armor. Well, I wonder why.
Where does the armor seem to originate from, like culturally?
You can tell again, you got that absurd common knowledge roll earlier. So you can actually tell that this armor looks like it's pretty high end, possibly from one of the thieves guilds.
Oh, it's
You're
fancy.
you're not entirely sure it's not magical.
This is very, very nice armor. Possibly even magical? Perhaps from the Thieves Guild.
Oh, I see. So it is a tempting honey pot, as they might say.
Yes,
I like
exactly.
honey.
Oh, that does sound nice. A bit of honeyed toast with butter.
I would like to follow the rope to see what type of trap it is.
Sure, you follow it along, and you notice that basically up the tree, someone has affixed a crossbow that would fire down at you if you remove the armor.
We should cut this tripwire, lest whatever it is connected to goes off.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Cutting the rope will fix that, right? Just
It will require a thievery check to do it without setting it off.
I'm not good at that.
Halizag will approach silently. This is a man of very few words. I don't know if you've noticed. He'll approach with like big frown, like two pairs of arms crossed, one on the back and one on the front. Just, and he will attempt to do a thievery check and disarm the trap.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Would you like to spend a penny on re-rolling that?
Yes. If you're asking me, then yes.
That's your last penny, but knock yourself up.
It's fine.
You know what though? I laughed my ass off when you were murdering everybody, so you can all have one penny. There you go.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay!
So, if I use this, I'm at 1. Right?
Yep, that's correct.
And I just re-roll this.
Yep, just tap re-roll. That's much better. You go and at first you're just like, this is easy, I'm gonna cut it. And then you realize, no, that's terrible. It's gonna shoot me in the face if I do that. And so you move to a different area and make your cut in a safer spot. As you do, it does go limp and everything is fine. You also notice, because you got the raises on the thievery check, you've never actually seen a trap with knots tied quite like this before in person, but you have seen them in textbooks.
I've seen textbooks.
These,
Bold of you to assume.
These are they have the telltale markings of traps that would be used by hobgoblins.
Much like grumble, like disarming the trap. I have this picture in my mind that he's like using the little barb on his tail to like test the wire. To like,
Sure.
nope. And like cuts it somewhere else. Like examines the armor and the use of the trap. You see his tail going a little looking at the group, squinty-eyed. Hobgoblins.
I'm looking at you with big wide eyes because you disarmed the trap for me.
Pay you no mind.
Hobgoblins.
Just that
Well.
word. That one word is all that comes out of his mouth.
Much better than vampires. I think we are quite lucky. Actually, are they better than vampires?
Hobgoblins, you've never met them. They're not indigenous to Quellen.
Yeah.
You've heard stories that they're basically like a bear-like wild folk that are extremely aggressive and
Oh, I'm not sure that is better than
clannish.
vampires.
Um,
Different.
why don't does anyone have a cult?
Me.
Let me see.
All right, go ahead and give me an occult check. Failing that, you can make a common knowledge check at -2 as you're looking at the armor.
6.
All right, excellent. If everybody else wants to, they're welcome to make a common knowledge check, but you do not have to.
Yeah, I'll make a common knowledge check.
Why not? Oh,
And
Excellent.
wow.
Ooh.
So, persiflage, no real idea of what's going on.
No.
Lyra, you are certain that this is +2 magical armor. You're certain that it does in fact come from the Thieves Guild, and you can tell by the way that the armor is weathered, this has been sitting here for some time. With the one raise that Halizak got on there, you're able to tell that this has definitely been sitting out for some time. You can tell that the crossbow itself was also rigged up from what looks to be like a salvaged thing. So like you can spot little teeth marks on the armor in some places, but it also looks like whatever it was that chewed up the armor definitely chewed up the crossbow and did a much worse job of it. So some sort of either the bite marks don't look like they're quite large enough to be animal. It's probably a wild folk, possibly the hobgoblins. But somebody chewed up this armor and chewed up the crossbow.
Can I grab
And then oh yeah, you can absolutely grab the crossbow. It even might still kind of work.
I don't want it for myself. I want to go up to Lena. And like compare the bite marks. But like so he's got the crossbow. And he just walks unceremoniously to Lena. Just goes teeth.
And as
Like
you
kind of
bite-
almost shoves it in your mouth. Like,
Yeah, I'll bite the crossbow next to the teeth marks so we can compare.
yeah, yours are a little bit smaller, but like a matter of millimeters, not a matter of inches. But you also notice as you're biting it, bit of an odd taste, and you look back, you pull back and look at it, and you see that there's like moss has grown on this. Like this was set up a long time ago.
Oh.
Huh.
I pull my notebook out and I start writing in it again. And every once in a while I glance up and I look at Lena and Halizak. And then back down and start writing.
like toss it. It's old and it's bitten and it's mossy.
This trap has been here a while, it looks. I wonder why they didn't set it up elsewhere. I wonder if there are still hobgoblins here. Perhaps they have all been eaten by the vampires.
Do vampires eat people?
Well, they drain their
They
blood.
Blood.
Yes.
So I suppose
It's not like
they
drinking
drink
people? Yeah.
The pointy one has a point. Pointy one and two.
We can be thing one and thing two. Pointy
Yes.
one and pointy two.
Yeah.
Yes,
Beautiful. Is there any other investigation you'd like to do in the area, or do you want to move along?
No, I think we're good. Or at least Persiflage is.
yeah. I'm down to keep going.
All right. Would any of you, well, would any of you who doesn't have an unusual form like to put on the armor? It will not fit.
Is that any of
on-
us? Is that just Lena?
It might just be Lena.
How does it smell?
A little wet and musty.
I'm not wearing that.
All right.
We could wash it.
Strap it to the horse. We'll wash it and then I'll wear it.
There is a river right there.
Okay. Can I take it to the river to wash?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're able to wash it up. I mean, it's some of that smell is mildew, so it's never going to quite come out, but you're able to clean it up considerably.
Okay.
Is it enough for you to stand wearing it? That's up to you, but you are able to clean it up considerably.
I think I'm gonna strap it to the horse to let it like air dry and sun disinfect for a few days before trying to put it on.
Beautiful.
Love that.
Beautiful. Excellent. As you start making your way or resume your journey, the weather starts to turn a little foul. Some clouds start to roll in. You're all seasoned enough and clearly have done well enough on the various survival checks that we've made so far that finding a shelter and setting it up for the final evening, not too difficult. And the place where you take shelter is on the edge of where the trees start to give way to a more swampy area. You even see some of the telltale sorrow vine growing near where you make your camp. The sorrow vine is the stuff that the swamp is named after. Effectively, what it does one second. Looking for a thing in here. There we go. If you make contact with the sorrow vine, you have to make a vigor roll at -2. On a failed roll, you develop a red itchy rash at the point of contact. You become distracted and suffer a level of fatigue. Or on a critical failure, you become exhausted due to incredible sadness. And the effect persists until you're successfully treated for being poisoned.
It's a plant that makes you sad.
Yeah, it's basically poison depression or you know,
Great.
depressing
It
idea.
said that's if you eat it,
That's if you touch it.
if you touch it.
Yeah, it's just like
So it's like the
Okay.
opposite of St. John's wort.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes.
I'm going to wrap my hands with fabric so that I can clip a little piece off
Okay.
and stuff it in one of my journal or in one of my pouches.
For that, I'm going to have you give me we'll say you can go with the athletics check or a survival check.
I'm gonna spend a Benny.
You spend a
oh
Benny
boy.
for
Fine.
That's much better.
That's much better.
yes. Good call. Yeah, not a bad idea. So you are able to trim a clipping of it without accidentally touching it. How much are you trimming, I suppose?
Just a little bit, just like a sprig.
Okay. Yeah, you cut a little sprig of it. Where are you going to put it?
In one of my pouches.
Okay. So you have a little bit of sorrowvine in a pouch.
Yeah.
And you're able to shelter down for the night. Now we're a little bit over halfway through today's stream. Do we want to take a 5 for biological and technological needs?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Awesome. So, folks, we're going to take a quick break. If you're watching this live, hang out. This is a perfect opportunity while we're away for you to run over to Kickstarter and lend your support to Bizarre Kingdoms. There's 6 days left, and we've got a little over $1,000 left to raise. The more the merrier. As much support as we can get would be awesome. There are a lot of add-ons on there. You can get the core rule book, get a bunch of adventures added on, some of the first edition stuff that's easily translatable to second edition, and some of my other Savage Worlds settings are also all in there for add-ons. So like I said, if you're watching live, go head over there, check that out, spread the word about it, consider backing it. If you're watching this on a VOD or on playback, just fast forward to see our pretty faces again, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Roll for Seduction Twitch, where we are playing Odysseys and Overlords, second edition, to help promote the Bizarre Kingdoms Kickstarter. I would recommend, if you've not yet done so, please head over there. The link should be in the chat. Help us make it happen for Bizarre Kingdoms, this lovely expansion that will include, among other things, the playable ancestries that our players are showing off today. When last we met, you all had sort of knuckled down for the night, gotten a shelter at the edge of the Saravine Swamp. Lyra was able to gather a little sample of the Saravine, and you're able to get some rest.
And did not get fucked up by it.
Amazingly so, did not get fucked up by it.
Impressive.
I've thrown your tokens in the lower corner of this little map just to give you kind of a basic idea of what it is that you are walking up on when you, or what it is, I guess I should say, that you're approaching as you approach Saravine Keep the next day. The waters are deep enough here that you can swim it, or you can take a boat if you could build one or acquire one, but you certainly can't walk in them. You can, there is some dry ground where the area has been cleared of Saravine. There's even a bit of a gravel paved road. But as you're approaching, even from a distance, well, I guess first let's have everybody go ahead and make a notice roll at -2.
At -2.
Yeah.
And I can just adjust that. Oh, I can adjust that here.
You can?
And then
Oh, I
go
d-
it back. There's a little
I
there's
did not
little
adjust.
arrows next to there's little arrows next to, so like it says notice, smarts, and then it's got the dice and then the plus number. And there are arrows right next to the plus number, and you can put them up and down. Just remember to put them back when you're done.
Yes.
Ah, I
I did
see.
not do that, so I got a 7 instead of a 9.
That's fine. Still solid.
Amazing.
Holy bajibbities.
I see all there is to see.
Yes. So with a 7, you notice some shapes on the various tops of the wall outside the keep, above the gate and on the towers. You see sort of silhouettes, humanoid silhouettes. Lena, unfortunately, you don't see much of anything because you got, well, no, I guess you got a 6, so it's -2, so that's a 4. So you also see the silhouettes, but that's about it. Persiflage, as you're looking, it occurs to you that these silhouettes are scaly creatures of some sort. They seem to be standing sentry, and judging by the sticks you see kind of sticking up from behind them, behind their backs, at least some of them are probably armed with bows and arrows with ranged attacks. And then, of course, Halazak, you can smell that these are lizard folk, and there's probably somewhere between a dozen and 30 of them inside the keep.
What would Percival know about lizard? Would Percival know of things that were scaly? Could he make a reasonable deduction here, or does he not know?
You can make a common knowledge check, and
Yeah.
that one won't be penalized. It'll just be a
It's
straight
like,
common knowledge.
can I guess what this likely is?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. You can guess they're probably lizard folk. Lizard folk
can't
seem
tell for sure, obviously.
swampy.
But...
Yeah, they seem like swampy areas. You know that much. You know that they don't. As far as you know, they tend to be somewhat tribal, somewhat insular, and they're notoriously territorial.
Okay. Percival squints into the distance and pauses, but doesn't say anything as he tries to figure out what's happening.
Halisag's like grumbling and like shaking, but like vibrating a little bit, like too many.
What do you see, old boy? Pointy thing.
Many lizard harmed.
Many. Oh, I did think it might be lizard folk. Oh, he sort of gently taps on whoever's in front of me's shoulder, and then on the other taps both of you, and says, "Do be careful. There seem to be many lizard folk ahead." Do you? How many?
So he's gonna and then one claw, and then another claw. Maybe more.
I see. Well, possibly a couple of dozen. Oh dear. Do you think we can sneak a little closer without them seeing us? I don't want to get into direct conflict immediately until we can get the lay of the land a bit better.
Ambush, yes.
You want to attempt to sneak
This
up?
one worries me, he says out loud to himself.
All right. If you want to try to sneak in closer, you can all certainly make a stealth check.
DM.
Yes.
How stealthy is my warhorse?
Not terribly. But you can either ask the horse to stay behind or tie it off to a tree. Or you can roll its unskilled, I believe, stealth and see how it goes for it.
Persiflage is not feeling confident that Schnookums will listen to him and is going to tie him off somewhere here.
That is a fair assessment. While you're tying him off, I would like you to please make an athletics check for me.
Oh, good. That's. I'm gonna spend a penny.
Okay, excellent.
Where are they on my sheet?
You have that little by your name. There's the little shield.
Yeah.
There should be 3 written down. Well, you haven't spent any,
I see. Yes,
4.
excellent. I'm gonna use one.
Excellent.
And then re-roll that athletics check.
Yep.
That's
all right. Unfortunately, as you tie the horse off, you're fine. But you realize, you look over and you see the horse sort of scratches himself on a piece of sorrow vine.
Sorrow vine, right?
And you're and as you can see, like the sadness creep into the horse's face, every member of the audience who grew up in the 80s is being horribly traumatized right now, going, Artax, no! That's exactly.
I've given my horse depression.
No! Oh, rip.
Schnookums. Oh, that was. Oh. Mm. He sort of looks at his feet and shuffles back over to the group.
Oh my god.
Don't touch that.
Do I know of a way to cure the effects of this plant?
Yeah, I mean, there's medicine for it. It's basically like treating a toxin. But step one is to remove the exposure.
I'm gonna. I think it's easier to pull the horse away. Untying him. I'll untie him and pull him away a little bit.
Okay. Go ahead and make let's do just a strength test. Go ahead and roll strength real quick.
Weirdly, I have a decent amount of that.
All right. Yeah, you are absolutely able to tug the horse, despite the fact that he doesn't seem to want to move. He seems listless and sad.
Gave my horse depression. Persiflage says, I'm not sure how I'm going to explain this to them, but perhaps they can help. He turns to the group and says, I have made a mistake. Points to the horse. Will one of you, do any of you know anything about Sorrowvine?
The horse lays down.
Oh,
Oh,
dear.
I think I can help.
Oh, this one is nice. Yes, this will do. Yes, come, please.
Or we can
Alright,
put him
guys.
out of his misery.
Healing. It says if I spend an extra point, I can neutralize poison or disease.
Absolutely. Yep. And you did it with a raise. So he hops up and spins around in a very excited circle and prances a little bit.
There.
You cured my horse's depression.
Little bit of divine favor never hurt anybody.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
You can help me tie him up somewhere that won't happen again.
Perhaps not next to the sorrow vine.
Yes.
You look around, and the unfortunate reality is that there aren't really any trees that aren't growing next to Sarovine.
Thiffle. It's fine. We'll bring the horse.
I mean, you can tie him off. You have to be very careful when you do it.
Yeah. I can do this. I can do this.
Bait.
Can I do survival to help?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Sick. Oh, yes. You seem quite knowledgeable. Can you help me find a good spot?
Boy, oh boy, I think I do.
Yeah, Lena walks over, grabs like a twig off the ground, uses it to bend back some of the sorrow vines, so there's like a nice open area next to a tree, and you tie the horse off successfully.
Yes. All right. Now, let's sneak.
Excellent.
Sneak.
In this case, I will need stealth rolls from all parties concerned. I'm going to make one roll for our guards and see how they do at spotting.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Halizak is gonna try and stop everybody, and he goes first with all
I want to
4
use
arms.
a Benny to re-roll because that was really bad.
Oh, you got a 2 and a 1. Oof.
Yep.
Look, I figured out how to put the dice on the screen.
Nice.
All right. So persiflage is fine. There I got a 4. Okay, it's a success, but it's not. You got a 5, also success, but not. And beyond the lizard folk. And Halzak, you got a 6, which is enough to get past. So persiflage and Halzak, if you want to separate from the group, I know Halzak, you mentioned you were going to sneak ahead.
Well,
so feel free to play.
I go first. I don't know how closely they're following.
Yeah, feel free to place your.
Are we sneaking through the water? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to try to do that, you'll just need to make you'll need to make an athletics check just to make sure you. Athletics or survival to make sure that you don't drown.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I was picturing them grabbing like some sort of, I don't know what kind of plant is this, but like a hollow, tall, um, stem of something, and just like
Oh,
Like
like
a
a
reed.
reed?
using it like a,
Yeah.
and just.
Sure, I'll allow that.
I just did that level in Princess Peach Showtime.
Yeah, I'll allow for a read. That's fine.
Awesome.
So
With his tail, he like kind of looks like an alligator.
go ahead and place yourself wherever you'd like to be, and the same goes for persiflage. Are you going to stick with the group, or are you going to?
Persiflage will stick with the group.
Okay.
Are we trying to sneak through the
Um,
main door?
Oh, my horse is over here. I don't have my horse. My hawk is with me. That's fine.
Yep. So where are you all headed? Yeah, that's I guess the next
Actually, I
question.
suppose as we get closer, we can sort of see the outline of this. Where's the only? Let me make this
Like,
minimize.
there
this
seems to only
map
be
and look
one
at that for
door,
a
and
second.
that is the front door.
And we can only see this front door over here. Yeah. Actually, I don't think we're gonna go through the water. I think we just want to sort of creep through the sorrow vine and get to like here, right? Where I'm pinging.
Sure.
So like skirt the water, but not actually like swim.
All right. Is that where everybody else is going as well?
I'm following them.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
from a little bit behind so we can give them their space.
Okay. So if you don't mind, I'll take the liberty of placing a token or two.
Yeah.
So you get, and just so that I can verify, our how is that going into the water?
No, scratch the water thing. I
Okay.
thought we were gonna go into the back door. There's no back door. It's a moat.
There kind of is, but you probably can't see it from where you're at.
Would have been cool
So
though.
as you sneak up, and as Persiflage sort of also sneaks up, what are you doing with your hawk while you're sneaking up? By the way, are you gonna have it like ride on your back, or are you gonna have it fly off somewhere?
Persiflage is hugging it and feeding
Okay,
it beef jerky.
excellent. So we'll put those two there. And as the other two of you sort of sneak up behind, you hear halt.
Grumble, grumble.
Hello.
Persiflage turns towards the source of the noise.
You see these three lizard folk sort of come over to the edge by the drawbridge. And they
Good
say,
afternoon.
"What brings you here?"
Oh, actually, we're on a mission of great historical value.
Historical value.
Oh, yes.
They start whispering back and forth.
My fingers start twitching towards my weapons.
What is this mission?
Oh, well, we were sent to look for some specific documents, and I'm kind of hoping that maybe there might be some other interesting things for me to look at as well while I'm here.
I would like to cast a spell.
Okay.
I would like to cast empathy. Does one of them look like they're in charge? Does one of them have fancier armor or?
It's a little hard to tell.
Okay.
They don't really have like markings of
But I'm just gonna pick the one who spoke first.
Sure.
And empathy. Ooh, is 7 enough? Do I want to spend a penny?
7 is a successful casting.
Excellent. Fantastic.
And are you using the extra PowerPoints for charm?
Yeah, I'm using the extra power points for charm. So it's 1 extra power point or 2? 2 plus
Sure.
2.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Additional recipients plus 1 for the power point effect more than 1 target. So I could get all 3 of them. Ooh, but
Yeah, if you want to spend the extra points for it, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the extra points for it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Because it's like 1 per additional target, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
All
1 per additional target.
So you're looking at a total of the base cost, which I believe is 1 for empathy.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then additional 1 for charm.
Yeah.
And then 2 more for the others.
Oh, that's so many. But yes, I'm gonna do
How
it.
much I spent to heal your horse.
Worth it. You're right. Yes, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to spend 4 points, 4 power points total, or 5, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you're doing the charm
5.
effect.
And do all of that. So I charm all of them.
Absolutely. They kind of look at one another and say, "Oh, yes, please come in. One of us will meet you down at the base."
Oh yes, very good.
They walk over and hop down into a trapdoor and climb down and are waiting here for you.
I would like everybody to take a moment to imagine what a gazelle centaur looks climbing down into a trapdoor.
Excellent. I want it known that I have no idea you cast a spell, and I think they're just being very friendly and accommodating to what I've asked for.
And the bit of like what it looks like when you cast it. Some of the options are like a warm or sympathetic smile or an exchanging a pleasantry. For persiflage, it is nodding and humming to himself while petting the falcon.
Nice.
Yes,
I love it.
yeah,
So
let's go down the trapdoor.
he says, well, you're walking over to the drawbridge. They had climbed down the trapdoor to get from the basically the overhang.
Got it. Yeah.
So he says, yes, so you come seeking historical documents.
Oh, yes.
I will take you to the priest. The priest knows. And they start walking you through into the larger area. As you walk into the larger area, you see several lizard folk kind of going about their day.
Excellent.
They kind of look at you all a bit askew, but otherwise seem to be, I guess, fine with you being there. They're confused.
There's one of their own is leading us in, but also
Right.
here.
Right, exactly. So like they're kind of side eyeing you, but ultimately letting it pass. As he leads you over to this tent, you step into the tent, or come to the edge of the tent, I guess maybe I should say. And you see as they pull back the flaps and they say, "Samara, forgive us for the interruption, but visitors have come on a mission of historical import." You see there's incense burning at an altar at the far end, next to where she has a cot sat out. She says, "Enlightenment and knowledge are often delivered by a strange messenger. What is it you want?"
I described to her exactly what we are looking for without holding back anything.
Oh, okay.
Persiflage makes a few like mild mannered and like interjects just a little bit, but like too soft to really be heard properly.
Lena's growling softly so that they know that Lyra is our sweet, perfect angel baby. And if anybody tries to screw her over, I will kill them.
Very well.
Interesting. This one is growling.
She says, "Perhaps we can come to an arrangement."
I would like that very much.
We have been attempting to expand our hunting grounds further into the swamp. There is a settlement of frog folk to the south. If you can remove them, that would be sufficient.
I see. As a token of goodwill.
No, as what I want. I
Oh,
want
yes.
that area clear. Or I also am in need of a velociraptor corpse.
For what
Um,
purposes, if it is not too bold to ask?
The bodies are very useful reagents for alchemy and ritual. The teeth and claws can make glorious weapons. I
Learn
can
something new every day.
I can see the corpse of a velociraptor being worth what it is you seek.
Think we can manage that? Don't you?
Halizak is going to look at the lizard folk that led us here, just like that one.
He
Not
says
velociraptors, they're lizard folk.
This is how
he
smart he
says
is.
no, velociraptors are dinosaurs. And she
do I know
says,
where
"Oh,
I
go
would
ahead."
find a velociraptor?
Good question.
You make a common knowledge roll at +2 since you did so good on your common knowledge before.
So 14 with a +2?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're pretty sure that they're indigenous to swampy regions. There's probably one running around here somewhere. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to take out, but there's probably one nearby. It would
My
just be a matter of
companions
hunting it.
very my companions are very good at killing things, and that sounds much easier than moving an entire settlement of people.
It's acceptable to me. The last thing that plagues us that would um, I would deem worthy of an exchange is a pair of cyclopses who have been interfering with our hunting, scaring away game.
Mm.
If you
Oh.
could bring them to me alive.
Does Persiflage know whether a velociraptor or a pair of cyclopses, would I be able to estimate like how much scarier one of them is a threat, or do I have no idea?
Did you had the vampires one?
I did, yeah.
Did whoever had the giant misinformation? Did you share that with the folks?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, so you're like Cyclops are giants. Giants are going to, grind our bones into bread now.
Grind our bones in. No, I think Velociraptor is more our speed. I'm not feeling being baked into bread today.
Right.
I agree.
Excellent. If you
And-
can hunt one down, I will give you access to these books you seek.
Persiflage nods. He's inclined to. We're not fighting 30 people in a keep. Fuck that. No. He doesn't say that though. He says, I think this is far preferable to fighting. Out loud to himself.
You get the squint of disapproval.
This one is so very pointy.
One dinosaur, many frogs, two cyclops, and you choose the puny one.
Oh, but
No.
it's of great magical importance.
No.
What if we kill the velociraptor and the giants and that whole civilization?
Yes.
I believe this one concerns me the most.
That is better. That is a proper challenge.
But we can start with the velociraptor. I'm okay starting there.
I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. Persiflage says out loud to himself.
I'm very concerned about why you're going to be setting a bridge on fire. You can get your aggression out through killing people much easier.
Persiflage merely makes a sort of mumbling sound. Let's go. Let's get away from here. it's a little tense here.
Mhm.
Actually, no. Percival should probably ask first his companions. Does anyone know where we could find the Velociraptor? No, we should ask them.
Oh, well, they tend to live in swampy areas, so this does kind of seem like an ideal hunting ground for them.
Ah, I see. I wonder, are there any areas which you would be displeased to find us? I want to find out if they're like forbidden areas before leaving.
If you are hunting on our behalf, you are welcome to hunt our grounds. I will send a guide with you for your own safety, of course.
Oh, yes. Quite kind of you. Quite kind. Quite kind. Cool. We get a new friend.
Indeed, indeed.
Well, what's your name?
My name?
Yes.
Uh, my name is Samara.
Samara. That's a very pretty name. My name is Lyra. It's very nice to meet you.
Likewise, I look forward to you returning with the body I seek.
Oh, indeed. We'll be on our way. Best start early. And Percival is going to try to usher them out onto the grounds, back outside to go hunt a velociraptor. Oh, and get my horse. Let's go get my horse.
All right, so you sort of usher everybody out to collect your horse. They send the lizard folk that you had already charmed to follow you.
Wonderful.
And what's your name?
He says, my name is Strix.
Strix. Oh, that's a very cool name. My name is Lyra. It's so nice to meet you.
Yes, likewise. You can start to sort of tell that maybe he's a little almost confused at this point about the nature of your relationship. Like he's starting to develop a little bit of suspicion, but maybe not enough to speak up.
How long does my charm last?
It should have a duration.
Um, Duration 5. I don't know what the unit is.
So that's 5 rounds normally.
5 rounds. Oh, so it's not very long.
No.
Okay, so they now feel however they feel. That's fine. Oh, there's a puppy. Yeah. Retrieve after we retrieve my horse. I think we should just like wander around looking for a velociraptor. What says everyone else?
Yeah.
All right.
Would
Oh,
a survival check be useful for finding
you seem
it?
to be in your element in these woods. Perhaps you can help us with that nose of yours.
Who are you asking?
Tessa. I mean, fuck, what's her character's name?
Lena.
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 Lena. Yeah.
Lena the hyena. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can certainly make a survival check, and in fact, with the assistance of your lizard folk friend, whose name I just gave you and have literally forgotten.
Strix.
Strix. Yeah, thank you. You can also get a +2 to your roll.
Oh, wonderful.
So I will look over at that in a second. I'm just dragging characters onto the map so that you're all where you're supposed to be.
No worries.
Where are we supposed to be? Up there?
Yep, yep. I feel like I'm missing someone. Who doesn't have a token?
Percy isn't there.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
there you
shit.
go.
There we go.
Excellent. So survival of 7, so that's a 9, so that is raised, so that's not too bad. You start moving through the areas where um, where Strix sort of guides you. He warns you away from some of the more dangerous regions and manages to uh, get you into a safe path. You eventually come across some footprints, some droppings. Probably takes you about 2 hours of good long digging around to get on what you're fairly certain is the trail of a velociraptor.
Okay.
As you're making your way following this trail, you can start to hear crunching to the south of you as the creature moves through the brush. Forgive the not raptory looking token.
Is it just Lena who can hear this, or can the rest of us?
You all can hear it.
Okay.
May I sneak somewhere?
Absolutely.
Hide, like behind a tree or on a tree. Actually, that would be super cool.
Absolutely. If anybody wants to hide, make your stealth checks now.
I'm gonna climb a tree over here. Yes. Stealth. Go.
I had a lot of restraint around the lizards. Like it took a lot of energy to just not talk and let
Yeah.
the others do the
fine.
talking. So I think I need to just like
Murder.
hit a yeah.
I'm going to spend a penny to try to be sneaky.
Okay. Excellent.
See, oh, I got 5 on one of them. Yeah.
It looks like all of you are able to sneak.
Except for me, because I'm not trying. But I will run up to like. Can I just run up and hurt him?
Yeah, you can just run up and start attacking. The lizard folk will stick with you. They're not going to hide either. The rest of you
Okay.
go ahead and place yourselves where you'd like to be. And we will start.
Let me see the range on my.
What's that?
I'm looking at the range on my bolt or blast. Bolt is the one target version.
Bolt is 1, blast is area. Yep.
You're all so far ahead. Okay. Can I just retcon that I'm hiding in those trees?
Sure.
Where can I see the range of my spell? Am I missing it?
Should
Range,
be.
there it is.
Yep, should be across the top.
Okay, I see. Small, I assume that means ×2?
Smarts ×2.
Smarts ×2. That makes more sense. Okay. Oh, cool. Look, I have D4 in smarts. So I have to get like this close.
So yeah, you said you have a D4 in smarts?
Mm-hmm.
Should be 8 squares.
Would be 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I can be this far away and still hit it with bolt. Okay.
Yep.
So that is where I go.
All right, rock and roll. As you all fall into your sort of hidey holes, and Lena and Strix make their way forward, the raptor clocks your movement and sort of gives you the bum's rush before you're able to do anything, Lena. For a creature so big, it moves in a disturbingly fast fashion. And it's effectively just going to try to pounce on you. What is your parry?
6.
Okay, so a 7 will hit you.
Mhm.
As it hits you. Oh, that's helpful. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. There was a thing that I thought was set up on the sheet, and it wasn't.
Inevitably.
Inevitably. I apologize for the delay as I sort this out.
Oh, I should put my horse on the map. I'm gonna put my horse on the map, but behind us. We leave the horse.
I believe it's on the map, is it not?
Oh, yes, good. Good. It is. You're correct.
It's right there.
Thanks.
I just missed it briefly. Yes, no, we're good.
I apologize for the delay in that. All right. So,
Oh,
got a 23 on the damage for the bite.
oh.
So the way that this works is that does exceed your toughness. Absolutely. Did you have a question, Beth?
No.
Okay. So what you then will need to do is roll your vigor.
Okay.
Oof.
Oh, vigor.
Not bad. So actually remarkably good. So you got basically the same amount of raises. You do not take a wound.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Just checking. Okay. You do not take a wound. You avoid being shaken. You
Wow.
are all right.
I thought for sure you were gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
But this raptor has like its mouth like on your shoulder, like you are hemmed up with this raptor right now.
Wow.
Percy, it is your action. What would you like to do?
My friend is dancing with a raptor, and I am concerned about it, so I would like to bolt, please.
Excellent.
Percival says, "Oh dear, oh dear." And shakily points his fist and does a bolt. Ooh, and is
that would
shaky.
that is sufficient though. You got the 4 that kicks it off.
Okay, got
So
it. Yeah.
you may roll the damage.
No.
Our good friend does get to attempt to soak that.
What kind of bolt are you shooting?
Oh, I think it's sort of a lavender sparkle, and it sort of wobbles a little bit on the way to its target, like it's not a super straight, before impacting in a spray of lavender and blue light.
Pretty.
That is a wonderful description and a beautiful display of light and energy that fires off and bounces off of the raptor, having no effect whatsoever on it,
Oh
as it
dear.
seems to have soaked the damage.
Dang it.
One made an attempt.
Are Snookums the warhorse or the falcon? Are you going to try to have them do anything?
I'm gonna have he's gonna call the warhorse to charge, which I assume is another unskilled check.
It is another unskilled check. Let's see how it does.
It's gonna go good this time. I can feel it.
You shout charge, and the warhorse takes off the other direction.
It's a -1. How is that a 0 to -1?
It did charge.
Yeah.
The falcon also
Later I will say I meant to do
flies
that.
off wildly in another direction. That then brings us to Lena the hyena. What you got?
Well, I'm gonna heck him up. We're gonna go. Okay. For flavor, I'm going to bite into his shoulder while he's biting into mine.
Beautiful. I love it. Bring that fighting check.
No, I'm definitely going to use a.
He's a Benny.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
Excellent.
a little better.
As you bite down, he sort of like moves its shoulder into the bite, which is enough to keep you from getting purchase. It does your attack did not overcome the parry.
Dang. Okay. Okay.
Halizek. What would you like to do?
You know, Halizag is having second thoughts about calling this thing puny. However, that is super cool. That means this is a challenge. He is so pumped. Can I do? No, never mind, because that's gonna be an action. So I'm hiding in this tree. I'm gonna kind of like leap out from behind the tree, and I'm gonna like stab him with my poison tail somehow.
Okay.
It's stabby time. Where the hell is my character sheet?
Let me check something real quick because I think you technically have the drop.
Do I?
Yeah. Because he did not see you.
Awesome. That is good.
Yep. So that's a +4 to your attack and damage.
Okay. Be good, dice. Be good.
All right, so it's a 4, so that's an 8, so that beats his parry. Go ahead and roll your damage. Or the tail doesn't do damage, right?
The tail is the poison tail.
Right. Is
It might
it
not do
damage and?
I do not know.
Oh, it does strength plus d6 damage and lethal poison.
Yeah, I don't know
so
that is correct though.
Let me triple check it because I think it is just poison.
It might just be just the poison. That is what I want. I want the poison.
Yeah, let me triple check to make sure that
Oh no.
I'm not
A
doing
poison
that wrong.
tail's tail deals strength plus d6 damage and lethal poison.
Yep, strength plus d6 and lethal poison. So
This guy's
your
so
damage
stabby.
is not sufficient to get past his toughness.
Oh no.
So he doesn't take the damage, but he still has to resist the poison.
Yes. Good.
So, and that is a vigor test
And -2.
at -2. So 8, it's a 6, still hits.
Yep.
Because he is in fact a wild card.
Ah. So he did not get poisoned.
So he does not get poisoned. You did stab him. He lets out a wail. Let's go of the grip that he had on
Good.
Lena.
I'm gonna claw him as well. Because I can do that.
Oh yeah, you sure can. Go for it.
Don't think that's gonna.
Nope, doesn't hit. You got any bennies left?
Nope. I think.
All right.
No.
You swipe but fail to hit the raptor. That then will bring us up to Lyra. What you got?
Oh, I would like to stun.
Excellent. Go ahead and make your spellcasting check. Nice. A hit with a raise. So that would mean that he's looking at a vigor roll at -2 or be stunned. And again, what does this look like? What does what does it look like as you cast the stun?
I slam my staff into the ground and it just like pulses out of me.
Excellent.
Nice.
As you slam your staff into the ground, pulse of energy moves forward, and he sort of sways for a minute, but then shakes it off. Close, very close, painfully close. But he got exactly a 4, which is exactly what he needs to avoid being stunned.
Tough buddy. It's cool. We got him.
That brings you to your lizard folk buddy. He is going to rock up with a mace and just crack the raptor in the face.
Is it?
No, because he's absolutely not a wild card. He rocks up to the with a mace, and the raptor just puts his hand up, like the mace bounces off of his claw, and he just crushes the lizard folk.
Oh, great.
Yep, that makes sense.
He is an excellent lizard folk.
Strix!
Oh dear.
And that brings us back to the top.
Bye-bye.
Since he's probably most concerned about Lena, probably not necessarily who he should be most concerned about, but he absolutely is. He's going to attempt another bite. I assume the 13 hits you, so that's yours is a 7, you said?
Let me double check. Parry is 6.
6. Okay, so 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 1 raise that he got. So go ahead and roll your vigor. All right. So he got over because he got the raise, so that's the 1 bonus damage comes into place. So that's 14. So that is enough to give you shaken, and because there's a raise on it, this is 4 above what was needed. You also suffer a wound.
Okay.
So on your character sheet, you'll want to mark. There's a little like triangle with an exclamation point in it. It says shaken.
Mhm.
You want to click that because it'll remind
Great.
you, and then you want to add 1 to your wounds.
Awesome. Done.
All right. And so you all see the raptor sort of drop down and now take a not small chunk out of Lena's like bicep. Percy, it's your action. What would you like to do?
Oh. Question. Do I for Bolt, I can spend an additional 2 power points to increase the damage. Can I choose to do that after I've seen whether it hits?
No, you have to spend the power points
I have to spend the
when you
points.
cast the spell.
Okay. I still have 2 bennies left. So I can re-roll if I think I'm gonna.
Also, if you're low on power points, you can spend a Benny to get 5 power points back.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, this is fine. So yes, I'm going to attack, and I'm going to spend the extra 2 power points to up the damage because it soaked my damage last time. Persiflage sort of shakes his shoulders and says, "My lord!" and sends an extra vigorous burst of lavender light. Oh,
that'll do it. So that'll hit. You've also hit with several raises. Now, unfortunately, multiple raises don't do much with spell casting usually, but what it does do for you is you get an additional die of damage. So now you'll be rolling 5d6.
I get 4d6 instead of
you get 5d6 instead of 4 because you would have had the 4d6, right? From Bolt?
But no, the bolt causes 3d6 damage, 4d6 with a raise.
Right, and you spent the extra power points for the additional die of damage.
Oh yeah, so 5d6.
So you're at 5d6 of damage, yeah.
Blow him up.
Excellent. So that's 19 on the damage side. We'll see how well he can. Actually, he's shaken, so he's at minus 2 to try to soak it. So that's a
19.
17. That means he
17.
doesn't, because he's -2 from being shaken. So he does not soak. He's already shaken. That deals him a wound.
Yes.
Much better.
Yeah, you hit him with the bolt, and as this time as the energy sort of bursts, when it fades away, you can see like the exposed like muscle, like you almost like burnt off like the top layer of scales on his side. Now you can see exposed muscle.
Oh, okay. Making progress.
The warhorse continues running away, and the falcon continues flying in circles overhead now. Trying to find an appropriate place to shit itself from terror. That brings us to Lena. Now, Lena, you are shaken, so your first roll. There's 2 ways to do it because it'll prompt you to roll to unshake. You can either just decide what your action will be if you can unshake, roll it, and then hit the roll to unshake button, or you can just make a spirit roll first.
Okay, so there's a button that says unshake. Do I press that button?
I think that should give you the roll to unshake. Yep. Excellent. Yep. You have successfully unshaken. So you can
Wonderful.
turn that condition off and act normally.
I'm going to stab.
Stabbing is good. I recommend stabbing.
Yeah, I think.
Nice. That absolutely exceeds the raptor's parry with 1 raise. So go ahead and roll your damage. Damage is 8. That is not sufficient to get through the actual toughness, the armor.
Oh dang,
you,
this is a tough boy.
He is tough boy. Well, no,
Dinosaurs, yo.
I'm sorry, I looked at that wrong because you have 7, and then you got the raise, so the bonus damage applies. So you have 15, which absolutely does get through it. I apologize for my terrible math. So we'll see
Math is the worst. Having to do math live in front of an audience is some sort of war crime, man.
I feel like even things I'm good at, the moment people start watching me, I completely forget myself. Yeah.
No, the panic sets in.
I
Yeah.
would concur. So you draw back with your sword. You see that exposed piece of muscle where the scales have been stripped away. You lunge forward. Please explain to me how this raptor meets its violent, bloody end at the end of your blade.
Okay, so I see the gap under the arm, and I'm gonna drive my sword in. And when I get really close, I'm gonna whisper in its ear, "Gotcha."
Excellent. It lets out a falls over dead. You have slain the raptor. Congratulations.
Yay.
We have done it.
As I just had a moment to take a look at the time. With the raptor destroyed, you're able to gather up its body, gather up what remains of your short-lived guide Strix, and drag them back to the keep. Once you've arrived, Samara proves good to her word. Over what you can tell is kind of the protest of some of the more martial lizard folk. Samara guides you back into the library, which is remarkably well preserved. Inside, you do find dozens of books, scrolls, enough material that you're probably going to need to talk the lizard folk into getting you like a cart to haul it all.
Oh, we have done well.
Among the spoils, not only do you find just historically relevant documents. But you also find, if I can get my PDF to behave itself, some magical books. There are several scrolls, probably about a dozen in total. These include scrolls of animate arms and armor, bolt, detect, conceal poison, fear, healing, invisibility, teleport, resurrection, mending, time stop, and wizard's parry.
Oh.
These are all in individual scroll cases. There's also a tome of negation. The tome will teach any who read it who are able to cast spells, arcane protection, banish, and dispel. There's the tome of senses, which will teach detect, conceal arcana, dark sight, and far sight. And there's a tome of summoning, which teaches how to summon an ally, summon an animal, summon a monster, and create zombies. All of these are mixed in among the various historically relevant texts. Taking this home to Quellen will ensure not only your compensation, but the gratitude of the Census Bureau and possibly even a direct audience with Reina the Sphinx herself. She may be impressed enough to see you personally if you turn over all these goods. Of course, provided that you can make your way back through the Centaur Borderlands and back to Quellen safely. But that's a tale for another time because we're out of time. So I would like to congratulate my adventurers for your wonderful journey into Sarrowvine Swamp. I hope you all had as much fun playing this as I had running it.
Damn straight.
Thank
We
you.
murdered.
You did. There was murdering. There was hoboing. Both boxes were ticked.
In plentiful abundance.
Yeah. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about tonight's session?
No,
This
great.
is great. This is my first time playing with the system. I told you but chat, this is my first time playing with the system. That was great. Yeah.
Glad to hear it. I always love showing off Savage Worlds to new people. Obviously, I love showing off Odysseys and Overlords stuff, but the system is fast. It's fun. Pretty easy to track. I don't think anything terribly confusing tripped us up too much, aside from my math foibles.
All
been there.
But yeah, it was a really good time, and I want to thank again all the players for helping spread the word about Bizarre Kingdoms, and just for sitting down and having a good time tonight. It was a riot. It was good to catch up with some of you that I had not caught up with in a while. It was very nice to meet the new faces that I got to meet. So I guess if there are any outros or goodbyes, I will hand it off to Ailey to steer the ship back into port, as it were.
Yeah, hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. It was lots of fun. Please check out that Kickstarter. This game is so fun. Like I really enjoy it. So you should too, obviously. It's a cool system. And we'll be back next Thursday with more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. So stop by and check that out. And of course, every Tuesday we play our spicy game on the Super Secret Spicy site. So if you want to learn more about that, check out our link tree with all of our secret links. Links to our individual stuff as well. We all do some spicy fun stuff, and links to more Roll for Seduction things if you think we're neat, including our Discord server, which has a pretty awesome community that you should definitely come check out and be friends with us, because we're just a bunch of nerds and we like people who are also a bunch of nerds. But yeah, thank you so much. We'll see y'all later.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Rolling Nomads is still streaming. So yeah, right over.
We're raiding.
A raid is when you direct your audience that is watching your Twitch stream. When you end your stream, you can sort of direct link them to another person's stream. So it's a good way to give them a bit of extra attention.
Yeah.
I threw the name in the chat.
In the chat? Okay.
In the
Copy.
Zoom chat. Yeah.
In which chat? Hold on.
The Zoom chat. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's like 3
I don't-
chats.
I don't know if I still have like mod access here, but if I do, I can do it.
Yeah, we're going.
Let's
Go. I know,
Okay,
because
we're
we
not
want to
muted.
let
Oh.
people know that we're raiding.
That's all right.
We're not
not muted.
No, that's what I meant.
Hey,
we
we're
are
raiding.
raiding now, so it's fine.
That was super fun. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Yeah, that was super fun. I love getting to play new systems.